What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Breaker Bros. And tonight we're going to do the Bengals versus Colts prediction. So we're going to try something a little bit different tonight. We got a different format, but I guess you can already see our prediction. So that way, in case it takes us a little while to actually get to the prediction, you can see it. So
yeah, because I'm sure that's what you're here for. I don't think I've gotten one right yet this year.
So you're going with the Colts?
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I don't know much about the Colts. I mean, I know that Uncle Rico's their quarterback. I think their defense was good at the beginning of the season. Then they weren't so good, and now I think they're good again. But I don't really know what's going to happen. I don't have a feel for it. I'm worried that the whole new quarterback thing is kind of fool's gold, or I don't want to say fool's gold, but maybe a little too good to be true. So just waiting to see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, the way I look at it is just the Colts are in a very similar situation as the Bengals, where they're playing with their backup, but they seem to be on a bit of a winning streak. So, but nonetheless, I feel like, I don't know. Overall, I still think the Bengals are a better team.
I'm not surprised you think that.
Well, of course.
Oh my gosh, this is like a gamble Tron first.
What's that?
Here, why don't you pull it up? I don't have the drum roll, the timpani ready to go. But look at the odds. Look at it. 50-50.
So it could literally go either way based off of
Well, that according to the gambling according to the gambling markets, right? So it started off, let's see, December 5th. So it's after Jake Browning went off, like, oh no, it's 1% more for the Colts. And then it broke slightly more Bengals. And then it got way more Bengals. Now it's back to pretty close to 50-50. So I guess the gambling people think it's kind of like an even kind of matchup.
Yeah, it's interesting. I wonder why it had that dip and then it kind of.
Well, let's see. Anything happen at 3:16 p.m.?
Not that I can think of.
Somebody's got to know.
Well, if anyone knows,
yeah,
please
leave a comment. Oh yeah, so we got a new chat thing too. So like, if someone chats, we can decide whether or not to post it, and if someone tries to defile our chat with some I guess unallowed words, especially on YouTube, we can prevent that from happening before it actually happens. So
I guess in a way we have more control, is what you're saying.
At least we think we do. We definitely have a greater illusion of control.
That's the spirit.
All right. So do you want to look at the odds, the actual odds?
Sure.
Oh, wow. That was fast. Okay, so the Bengals are getting 1 point. Over under is 44. So if you subtract, if you divide by, hold on, subtract 1, so that's 43. Divide by 2, 21 and a half. So they think it's going to be like the Colts winning like 23-21 ish is what the current odds are. But I always, like, my rule of thumb is always, if it's an even game, like talent wise, then the home team should be favored by 3.5. And here they're only favored by 1. So what does that imply? That the DraftKings think the Bengals are better? Is that what it means? Or am I doing it wrong?
I think you're doing it wrong because we would be -1 if they thought we were better, right?
Yeah, but normally you would get like 3 points if it was even. So I think the Bengals are better, slightly better than the Colts. So I think DraftKings agrees with you.
Hmm.
Anytime scorer. Jamar Chase. Oh, TD. Huh. That's interesting. So this is saying I think that Joe Mixon's going to score touchdown. You can bet 2 TDs. You get the plus 25,000 for Charlie Jones 2 TD game.
I would do it.
There's nothing stopping you.
What's like how many touchdowns do they think Browning's going to score? Like what's his
Let's see here. Jake Browning is plus 600 to score a touchdown. But I don't know what the TD scorer means. That must mean that if he throws a touchdown, it doesn't count. I don't know. I got burned on the
projections as far as like total TDs.
There might be something bet total TDs, but I don't know. I got burned on this during the soccer game. Remember, I tried to get you to put in a bet for me?
Yeah, but we can't do that in Texas.
Yeah, well, I got a hold of someone, my wife. She put in the bet, but it turns out that I lost because they said that the tie doesn't. They treated it as a tie instead of as Columbus winning.
Wait, what?
They don't count overtime in soccer betting.
Oh, that's weird.
At least at least the bet that was made, I didn't do too much. It looks like the over under for past TDs is 1.5 for both guys.
I feel like that might be worth betting.
Pass yards 226.5. That's weird. It's almost like this is like autofilled by something, and nobody's gotten around to like editing it because it's probably not like a big time game.
I'm not sure if it's like the most interesting game of the week or whatever, but it still has playoff implications. Like for the teams that are still trying to make the playoffs, I think this would be like an important game to win, especially if you need like a head to head. But I mean, in general, the Bengals, if they are still interested in making the playoffs, and they got to win these AFC games, so it's pretty important.
Yeah,
for them at least. At 1.5, I mean, I feel like I'd take that on either quarterback. I feel like it could be like another one of those games where they're going to score more than what people think. Like 2 touchdowns for each quarterback doesn't seem that far off.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm kind of tired of looking at the odds. Nice. I like how you can do that. The StreamYard seems to be working okay. All right, so we want to talk about now.
I mean, really, I was just interested in talking about the game. But I mean, if you have anything
Okay,
else,
well, let's talk about the game. I don't have any feel for it, so what do I need to know? Make me optimistic about the game. What's going to happen?
I think in general, it's more about us than them. I think they just need to focus on not giving up the big play on defense and then just continue what they're doing on offense. I like the fact that they kind of established like the 1-2 punch with the running backs. Hopefully they can continue that. I mean, supposedly the Jaguars had like a pretty good defense. Like I didn't know that going into the game. Like I wasn't really looking into what the Jags could do, but I mean, listening to everything or like the way people, I guess, reacted to the game, most people didn't expect to see the Bengals would score 34 points because they thought the Jaguars were hitting their stride and they actually had a pretty good defense.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I would imagine the Jags have a better defense than the Colts, but I mean, I don't know too much terribly about the Colts, but at the same time, um, I do know more about the Bengals. But I just feel like our roster just very similar going into the Jags game is that outside of losing Burrow, I mean, we're pretty healthy. Like we have a pretty good team. It's just a matter
Hmm.
of like executing. So I just feel like they need to go in to this game like they went into the last game and just hopefully continue to play that balance offense where they have just as many runs as they do passing and just continue to play into Browning's strengths, which is really what it came down to was that I don't think they had that many empty sets. They got the ball out really quickly. So, I mean, if anything, I would just like them to see them to continue with the run game like they did last game. Just see if they can do it back to back games. That should be like the goal.
Okay. I'm looking at the Twitter, and do you know who Parker Blake is?
No, I'm not familiar with him.
Okay. Oh, I'm following him. There you go. I must know who he is. But he put up offensive line grades. I like how someone actually got 100. Uh, but hmm, I don't know. Jonah Williams apparently didn't do good in pass blocking and was like the worst overall offensive lineman. Must have been because of that one sack, right? No, it wasn't on his side. So I don't know. What's your what's your take on that?
As far as like, I mean, overall, I thought the offensive line did pretty good. I mean, if anything, we just had those two bad play calls when we tried to do those trick plays.
Hmm.
That kind of hurt the momentum. And then, yeah, and then when we did give the sacks, I think there was at least two because on the first drive we tried to go for it on fourth down, and he took a sack. So I know
Yeah.
there's that one, and then I felt like there was another sack later in the game, um, but overall, I thought the offensive line did pretty good. And then, I mean, in terms of the run game, I mean, we had to do pretty decent for the most part. I mean, I don't think everyone run that we had was a positive play because I'm pretty sure there was like a handful of runs where we had negative yards, but when we did hit, it did feel like we had like several big runs. So
Yeah.
I thought overall the offensive line did really well.
Hmm. Oh, look at this. We can wait. Retweets count as votes. Tweet to vote man of the year. So if I just hit retweet, is that what repost is? Is repost retweet?
I believe so.
Bang. I voted.
Nice.
That's kind of cool looking.
Was that a painting or something?
I think it's a face tattoo. No, what does it say? A 24 by 36 Bengals Super Bowl QB painting. Okay. It's just a painting. Oh, that's a good block.
Hmm.
See, I was thinking of Ryan Finley before the game. No, I was thinking of him after the game.